Ask Reddit. What did you wish you knew when you started producing? What advice would you give a Greenleaf? These are in no particular order. 1. Do your own thing. 2. Don't always work for songs, work for fun and ideas. 3. Listen to music. 4. 20 less than perfect songs in a year gets you way further than 5 perfect ones. 5. Don't get too confused by millions of DAWs or production methods and ways of working, find yours. 6. Making music is way more important than going after the best sounding plug-ins and/or gear. 7. Don't think about making it. If it sounds good, it is good. No song will ever be as perfect as you want it to be. Finish as many songs as you can, don't get caught up making 8-bar loops for a year. Don't spend more than 100 hours of working time on any song ever, and try to keep working times under 50 hours per track. You don't need to finish every single thing you start, but you should learn something from every single thing you start. Try to use your strengths in all of your tracks, sound design, drum programming, mixing, while also honing your weaknesses, mastering/marketing/vocal processing. Don't be afraid to use samples if you have them. I'm talking everything, it's not cheating or selling yourself short. In good time you will learn how to make all the sounds you want to. If your friends don't listen to EDM, then don't expect them to love or rep your music. They are your friends, not your PR team or core fan base. At the same time, show your music to anyone who is interested. I have friends who are consistently blown away at my progress from one song to the next. Invest in a pair of studio monitors. If you have the money, get speakers, if not, get a pair of studio headphones. Lastly, making music isn't about putting out songs, getting followers, amassing stats on SoundCloud, or getting hits. It's about making music, so just have fun doing that and don't worry about the rest. Not about getting hits. I'm out. Find someone you trust to teach you. Get good drum samples, don't spend ages fucking around with shit ones hoping to make them sound good. Focus on the music first and production second. This is what I'm currently trying to learn. A good mix is the sum of many small subtle changes. Play, create every day. Try and get a job in a related industry. Accept Kanye West as your Lord and Savior. Don't take anything that people on the internet say too seriously. Considering that last line, I'll ignore everything you said and put up some Kanye posters to increase my aura of success. I'm a doer. Best advice when mixing. Ec first, then compress. Edit, then volume. You don't need to process everything. Finish songs. Down to the mastering process. Even if you think they suck after a while. Otherwise you'll be good at starting tracks but shit at finishing tracks. Like me. Super discouraging. Been producing for about 9 years heavily. Touched my first DAW back in 2002 when FL Studio was still called Fruity Loops, anyone remember? Get a DAW you're comfortable with and learn as much as you can about it. Create templates. Workflow is important and you want your creativity to pour out of you, not sit there and try to figure out why your MIDI isn't working or have to create multiple tracks but don't know what sounds you want. Which leads me to the next step. Organize all your shit. Make files of different instruments and separate drums and percussion, etc. Again. Workflow. Watch tutorials. There's a plethora of them out there these days. I started off with Reason when I started getting into it when YouTube was in its infancy. It was hard to come by tutorials. Learn how to mix ASAP. I learned mixing years later and regret being late to the game there. Do it every day. Know your DAW like the back of your hand. It won't happen overnight, so be patient. My best advice is to enjoy music. It's easy to forget to enjoy music. Don't forget. Preach. Learn music theory. It can be dense, but a good understanding of how everything works can really help as you learn to compose. For example, I learned how to play piano as a kid with the Suzuki method. I could play by ear and memorize songs, but once it was time to learn theory, I hated it because I could play sa much better than my ability to read or truly understand what I was doing. When you only play, it is easy to play what you know. If you are trying to compose, this can potentially cause some roadblocks in creativity. Years later, I reset and spent time focusing on theory. Not only has this opened a fountain of creativity, I can analyze and truly understand why I was hitting certain roadblocks and how to move past them. I had been a musician for about 3 years before purchasing Mixcraft 6. I almost exclusively played my own music, so I started producing with my own melodies, structures, and rhythms accordingly. I released a few tracks thinking they were absolutely amazing, but they produced, intended, barely any traction. I learned the more you expect of a track in terms of public receival, the less you enjoy it and the harder it is to focus on simply making good music. Dr. Forget everyone else, unless you want to imitate another artist, and focus on making what you enjoy, because if you like it someone else likely will too.